I felt like I've been living in a fog for the past 14 years since getting out of the military, and it feels like that fog is lifted. I was putting my 12-year-old son to bed last night, and he looked down at me all on his own from his bunk bed, and he said, "Dad, I noticed that you don't get angry as easily anymore." And that meant a lot. That my 12-year-old would notice that difference in me, that my fuse isn't this long anymore, but it actually has grown, and I'm not just going from frustrated to completely angry and blowing up in a split second. And for my son to say that to me just makes all the difference. It shows me that though I'm not a perfect dad, I'm a better dad.
Kind of how I like to describe it is I still had the ups and downs of the roller coaster. So I had the peaks of great, feeling great, and then I had the dips, the valleys of mood swings and depression and irritability. But it kept, as the treatments were going on, the peaks and the valleys were on an upward trend, and so they were trending in the right direction. And as the weeks went on with treatment, towards the third week of treatment this week, well, in the end of last week and then the beginning of this week, I noticed that the peaks were going up and the valleys were not nearly as severe. So the mood was more sustainable throughout the day and the evening.
I've dealt with headaches since my first TBI in 1998 on a Bosnia deployment. And since I started the hyperbaric chamber oxygen therapy on Monday, I have not had any headaches this week. So that's, they say it's the small things, but when you deal with headaches for 22 years, it's those are some of the big things that you don't think are going to get fixed.
I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 4 times a week. I've gotten back into that. That's what I'm wearing right here. I just got back from an hour of rolling, and it's great for my head. It's great for my body. I have a daily routine and schedule I've established for myself, and the thing is, I'm actually able to stick to it. I was never able to start something and stick to it before I got HBOT. I am now. And when you're running every day and doing jiu-jitsu, you look at everything you eat, because you notice if you eat bad that you feel even worse when you work out. But when you eat better, healthier food, you actually feel better when you work out and you perform better. So that's a trickle-down effect. Now I'm eating better as a result of being in better shape, as a result of being able to stick to something, as a result of HBOT. This never happened in the past 14 years. This has never happened.
You know, my wife used to get really frustrated because she would say something and I would say, wah, 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 and it sounded like Charlie Brown's teacher, you know? And it used to happen all the time. But in the last 30 days since I've been having treatments, I haven't had that happen once. And one of the other things I realized was that, you know, I didn't know this was a thing until recently, but like I would pick up an object and do the wrong thing with it. And I learned that that's different processes in your brain. Like one process is to recognize an object, and the other process is to know what you do with that object. So like I would pick up my toothbrush and be like I was going to brush my hair with it, and I'm like, what am I doing? And it gets
sharper mentally, like cognitively, and I have more energy, which is good because I'm in school full time right now for a master's degree program, and it really helps. I'm sleeping better, can breathe better, and you know, I feel like I heal a little bit quicker too. Like I have like a little back strain. I started playing softball again recently, and yeah, I was doing a hard workout too, and I hurt my back, but after doing this, I kind of noticed that it healed a little quicker.
HBOT did for me in 30 days what the VA and all of their doctors couldn't do in 14 years with all their pills and everything they could throw at me. It just didn't work. I believe for every veteran out there like me who's been injured and sustained brain injuries and has post-traumatic stress, I believe truly that HBOT is where the light meets the dark.